Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, 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 Jai Ram.
Connected to SHECHIDIANANDA.
Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram.
Pranam Swami.
We are in which station now?
16th chapter. 16th chapter. Devasuram.
The peculiarity or uniqueness of this chapter is the first three slokas highlight the Deviism, moral, ethical, spiritual values. And the next, I think almost 18 to 19 slokas highlight about the Asuri Sampad. When we start thinking, why did the Lord spend too much on the Asuri Sampad? One thought that came in our mind is, now let us take, we are all hearing this. All good things suppose we hear. Suppose we are hearing. Again we are going back to the field where though we would like to hold on to the values, there may be compelling situations. There may be challenges. There may be something that comes up in the form of duties or commitment. And at that time, many things do not go as we plan. Immediately, we start finding fault with either the person or the objects or the situation. Sri Krishna gently reminds us, not in direct words, indirectly he touches and kindles. All these stem from the fact that we start our life with me and we do not sincerely consider that there is a higher power in us. Only when we start recognizing the higher power within us, we will be able to slowly stretch it to others. Materialism or material science, God wills now that it goes on Vande Bharat style, not even Rajdhani style. Spectacular progress. Especially for the past 20, 30 years. Nobody can imagine. But unknowingly, unwittingly, though God wills that material science should improve our standard of living, it has improved, no doubt, with the bounteous gifts. Today, sitting in your room, you can book the ticket, something which we cannot even conceive of 15 years back. You get your things done at your doorstep. Science and technology has gone to that much that even if somebody is there in any corner of the world, we can see him, we can talk to him. We can list out, something superb. But in this process, the casualty is, we start with the me and mine. Behind every discovery, invention, innovation, which the material science provides us, we hardly recognize that there is an individual behind it. And that individual is not comprised of mere body, mind, intellect. There is that pulsating, activating, motivating base or substratum there. And from that power is motivating to offer comforts to its creation. So instead of being carried away by the gifts of material science, we should become more and more grateful to that power. In the 18 or 19 slokas, the Lord enumerates in what all ways this material science, progress in the material science, makes us unaware of the underlying core of our being in a blunt form. So first we will go through the Devi Sampat. He lists about 26 values. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayastha Bharjavam, Ahimsa Satyam Akrodham Tyagam Shanti Paishwaram, Dayabhudeshu Aloluptam Mardavam Hri Achapalam, Tejakshama Dhridi Shaucham Adroho Natimanita. And the explanation by Vinobaji is something we should never forget. He says, virtues and vices are pitted against each other within our mind. Both the armies are in neat formations. Every army needs a commander. The virtues too have dominated a commander. He is Abhaya, fearlessness or freedom from fear. Fearlessness has been given the first place in this chapter, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi. This has not happened accidentally, it must have been deliberate. No virtue can develop without fearlessness. Virtues have no value without truthfulness, and fearlessness is essential for commitment to truth. Virtues cannot develop in an atmosphere charged with fear. In such an atmosphere, they in fact prove to be vices. In such an atmosphere, even good tendencies get weakened. Fearlessness is the leader of all virtues. An army has to be alert about attacks both from the front and the rear. It can be surreptitiously attacked from the rear as well. Therefore, while fearlessness is in front, humility should guard the rear. Natimanita. Natimanita. It is indeed an excellent strategy. In all, 26 virtues have been listed here. You may imbibe 25 of them, excluding humility, but if your ego gets inflated thereby, an attack from the rear will make you lose whatever you have gained. That is why humility has been placed at the rear. In the absence of humility, there is no knowing when victory will turn into defeat. Virtues can be developed only by keeping fearlessness in front and humility in the rear. Most of the 24 virtues in between can be said to be synonyms of nonviolence, compassion for all creatures, gentleness. Nonviolence comes out in the form of compassion for all creatures, gentleness, forgiveness, serenity, freedom from anger and malice. All these are different forms of non-violence. In fact, all the virtues are contained in truth and non-violence. Truth and non-violence are the essence of all of them. But fearlessness and humility are in different category. Fearlessness makes advance possible. Humility ensures safety. With truth and non-violence in our armory, we should march ahead fearlessly. We ought to move freely over the whole expanse of the vast and extensive life. There must, of course, be humility to prevent us from slipping. We can then fearlessly move ahead, carrying out experiments in truth and non-violence. In short, truth and non-violence develop because of fearlessness and humility. So, though we recited the 3 shlokas, we will just read it out, the English translation. Fearlessness. Actually, fearlessness comes only when there is absence of otherness, when there is love for all, when we trust all. Nothing to be afraid of. No? Not that we go there and assert to make somebody know that we are powerful. That is not fearlessness. Fearlessness, purity of mind, steadfastness in spiritual knowledge, charity, control of the senses, performance of sacrifice, study of the sacred books, austerity, straightforwardness, non-violence, truthfulness, absence of anger, renunciation, peacefulness, restraint from fault-finding, compassion towards all living beings, absence of covetousness, gentleness, modesty, lack of fickleness, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, bearing enmity towards none, and absence of vanity. Why are we reminded this? No? Because he said, when we are mingling with the present day society, there is every likelihood that we may fail or forget or hold on to. Not that we want to lead an unrighteous life, but we might slip. So at that time, if we remember this, probably an effort will be made on our part to hold on to it somehow. That is why it is repeatedly. When we made a research of the entire 18 chapters, we could find that chapter number 2, chapter number 12, chapter number 13, and chapter number 16, it contains more than 70 to 73 or 74 values. Why did he repeat it? No? In so many ways he repeated. Because his hammering is necessary. And in this chapter, along with virtues, he also points out the Asuri Sampath. In a blunt way, no? He says, ostentation, arrogance, self-conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance, he doesn't know what to do and what to refrain from. Neither is purity found in them, nor good conduct, nor truth. Insatiable sensory desire, full of hypocrisy, pride and arrogance, holding evil ideas through delusion. They make impure resolves. And they are the gateway to hell, destructive to the self, lust, anger and greed. They feel that this world is nothing but the combination of man and woman. No? They deny the existence of the superpower. So everything they start from the human level, from their me and mine level, nothing beyond that. So here, finally in the stanza, how do we do that? How do we get over this? Power, wealth, status or position, so many things give up. You nowadays are there. And in the process of acquiring and maintaining it, we forget about the core of our being. We are fully preoccupied. First to acquire as much as possible, no? Then to preserve. And to ensure that nobody takes it away. And also to ensure that it expands, our empire. Unknowingly, not with any bad intention. Science and technology, God has provided this material science for that purpose. But we forget. Now, suppose now we are talking to you, We are talking to you because of the language. We say that somebody's presentation is okay, somebody's presentation is not okay, clumsy, this and that. It is very loving, it is very gentle. All those attributes we say. We hardly remember that God prompted one individual to give this language. And the language he gave, example, suppose you take English. 26 letters are innocent, by themselves. But when it joined letters, it conveys an altogether different emotion. It touches and kindles or evokes different types of emotions. When we say he is kind, he is cruel, Kind and Cruel are innocent alphabets. We are carried away by both. Here we say we are happy, here we say we get irritated or we are unhappy. Do we remember? Before an object is labeled, the object was there, So there should be some effort on our part to connect ourselves with him. Otherwise, we will slip into these asuric tendencies. And this fellow is very, very intelligent. My mind may give me the feeling that I am following Devi Sampath. But in a given circumstances, you will find you suddenly lose your temper. You suddenly crave for something. You suddenly slip. Because if there is any such vacillation, this fellow will creep in and hold sway over us. This is very important. Otherwise, we will all lose touch with the source of all sources. Ranganathanji elaborately discusses about this. Ostentation, arrogance, self-conceit, anger, as also harshness and ignorance belong to one who is born for an asuric state. The divine state is deemed to make for liberation and the demonic state for bondage. You are born of a divine state. Oh, Arjuna. You are not born with Ashiri Sampat. Your qualities are all of Devi Sampat. This is the assurance given to Arjuna and to everyone who reads this text. I am also meant for, why, it is not an instance. Lord will not make that. So he says, you belong to that. That is why you are hearing this, Otherwise, you will not hear. This is the assurance given to Arjuna and to everyone who reads this text. I am also meant for Devi Sampat and not for Asuri Sampat. Every one of us should keep on asserting. That conviction must come within oneself. As if Sri Krishna holds a mirror before us. And we see in the mirror our true form. This is my true form. That conviction must come to every one of us. Now he is concentrating on the Asuri Sampat, the demonic type of people, and you will see that the characteristics given here are applicable to such people in all parts of the world who have no moral sense. They have no higher humanistic values. Only power and pleasure actuate such human beings. The persons of demonic nature know not what to do or what to refrain from. Neither is purity found in them, nor good conduct, nor truth. These are a classification that took place 3,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago. Today, many of them apply as they are. Some need a little modification to suit present-day experiences, that's all. But by and large, the picture is absolutely clear. Take, for example, one person who is very selfish, whose motivation is only personal ambition. Now that person can become extremely unscrupulous. Nothing can stop him. No high ideal of conduct is there in the mind of that character. Such a person will be developing almost all these Asuri qualities, and many of us in India have encouraged our children in this direction for the last 40 years. Young people motivated only by personal ambition, without any high character ideal before them, are bound to become unscrupulous because scruples stand in the way of achieving one's ambition. If it stands so, I will reject them. They say the universe is without truth, without a moral basis, without a God, brought about by mutual union with lust for its cause. What else? They have no higher humanistic values. Only power and pleasure actuate such human beings. Many people are materialists, and it does not do much harm. But materialism can go to extremes where nothing higher than the sensory pleasure at the physical level is understood to be worthwhile. This is called the crudest materialism. Today, in many parts of the world, you will find this crude materialism. Evils come out of that. What is behind this materialism? What is the philosophy of life of such a people? They have some good qualities and sometimes even higher character, even better than that of religious believers. They are one class of people. Extremely moral, ethical, humanistic people. Only they do not have any particular belief in a higher power. That does not matter. But absence of belief in a higher power may eventually lead one to that kind of crude variety of materialists. That is the fear. Therefore, the description given here belongs to that type of people who are crude in their materialistic aspirations. What I see, that alone I will believe. No, they will say. What I do not see, that is not there. That kind of attitude towards the world is there because of an inability to go deeper and see the infinite Atman behind this world of relativity. They do not have that power. They do not have that inclination. So they say, apratishta. This word is without any base. There is no spirituality to this material appearance that you see as word. Not only so, there is no divine power behind the universe. They deny all this. What I physically see, that only I can believe. Not only so, they say that this whole world is aparaspara sambhudam, a product of mutual union between men and women. And for what purpose? Kamahaitukam, impelled by lust. The only impelling power in the world is lust. Even in Freud's psychology, you will find such a tremendous assertion that sexuality and violence are the common emotions in the human world. That is the kind of result from a study of modern Western depth psychology, which is actually very shallow from the point of Indian philosophy. What else except being impelled by lust do people have this kind of mutual union and the world goes on? I do not believe in anything else in this world. In our country, we had this kind of Charvaka philosophy, though I am told Charvaka was himself a very disciplined man. Crude materialistic philosophy is called Charvaka philosophy. It has been presented by only non-materialists in India. Materialists themselves have not written books about their philosophy. Others have written. And this is the picture they give of materialists in India. Modern materialism is also the same, but there are also high moral levels to this materialism. Tremendous humanism can also go with materialism. An agnostic like Thomas Huxley had a humanistic impulse within him, and he spoke of the aim of science as elevation of human suffering. That is not the materialism that is referred to. The only concern is, I must have the pressure. I will get it by any means. Holding this view, these ruined souls of small intellect and fierce deeds rise as the enemies of the world for its destruction. Filled with insatiable sensory desires, full of hypocrisy, pride, and arrogance, holding evil ideas through delusion, they work with impure resolve. Beset with immense chaos ending only with death, regarding gratification of lust as the highest end, and feeling sure that that is all, holding immeasurable chaos and anxieties in their minds, and nursing this death, fear of death, they have endless desires. I shall achieve this, I shall achieve that, multiplying in their mind. A later verse will mention that these desires in detail. Most of the arrogant tyrants of the world have a good bit of these traits. Their only object is how to fulfill lustful desires. With the conclusion that this alone is correct and nothing else, they are fully committed to. They can see no higher dimension. Bound by 100 ties of desires, given over to lust and wrath, they strive to secure by unjust means hoards of wealth for sensual enjoyment. They are tied down by these pasha or ropes. Asha pasha shadair badha. Kama krodha paraya, ever indulging in kama and krodha. Ihande kama bhogartham. They strive in order to fulfill their desires for enjoyment, to acquire wealth through unjust means, such as stealing, robbing, and by any means. In order to achieve the enjoyment of lustful desires, one needs wealth. One does not have it, but others have it, so one goes and robs. By any means. This has been gained by me today, this desire I shall obtain, this is mine again, this wealth I shall be acquire it tomorrow. Sri Krishna is telling about such people. Like that he keeps on bringing. So what do we do? In the final end, he always gives stress for referring to the Shastras. It helps us a lot. Here we can replace the word Shastra to our usual conventions. What is good and what is bad? You might have heard about Purushartha, no? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. It has been translated as ethics, earning, enjoyment, emancipation. So it starts with ethics. Asuri Sampat can be tamed, disciplined when our life is built on ethics. Anything that I do should not rebound on me and should not be an instrumental cause for disturbance to others. This is ethics, dharma. We can call it a swabhava, we can call it a duty. How the interhuman relationship, harmony at home, harmony at the workplace, harmony with friends. Where you give and take will be there, you will not assert, you will not compromise on values, you will not look down upon others who are not following it, you will not find fault with them, because this has to come from our young age, and the life of our parents are the first textbook. And afterwards, whenever we go to the schools, colleges, education is to know, not merely to intellectually grow, but also to our heart also should expand. If that is not available from the external education, it should be done by the parents at home. How much do I consider? First of all, we go to the puja room and offer our prayers. There is a superpower. So we always pray, every day we should pray, make me to lead a life in line with this, please. Ethics is given so much of importance. That is why it's called. Based upon ethics, you can earn. Whether you are employed, you will be honest, sincere, efficient. You get your salary. If you are in business, your credibility, you will not exploit when there is shortage of stock. You will not adulterate. You will not compromise on the quality of the stuff. You can add cost plus something for your existence. Everything is based on ethics. Even enjoyment, yes. That is why Grihasthashram has been prescribed, which is considered to be the Shrestha ashram. Though they say there are 4 ashrams, Brahmacharyam, Garhastham, Vanaprastham, Sannyasa. Of these, Shrestha ashram is Grihasthashram. Why? It is Grihasthashram who gives Brahmachari. It is the Grihasthashram who gives a Vanaprasthi. It is the Grihasthashram who gives a Sannyasi. So it is so sacred. You have been given sense organs. You have been given sense field. So nothing wrong in enjoying it within the limits. So ethics, earning, enjoyment. And after a certain time, we will know that it is not giving us any eternal or everlasting sense of fullness, completeness, joy, bliss. Then you slowly withdraw from this and deeply contemplate upon that which will give you this everlasting joy. Emancipation. So our Sanatana Dharma, this is beautifully given. So Asuri Sampat raises its head when this ethics is not well rooted in our mind. Papa used to mention this, that spiritual science and material science should go hand in hand. To improve our standard of living, we need material science. To improve our standard of life, quality of life, we need spiritual science. A little more if we go forward, we will find that there is no division between spiritual and material. What we have mentioned as a jadam, inert, science is slowly revealing that it is also full of activity. So spirit is there even in the matter. To understand that, we can go to the herbs, for example. In homeopathy, there is a medicine called carbo-veg. Whenever we have gas problem, gastric, we have to take a dose of carbo-veg. What is carbo-veg, It is vegetable carbon.
It absorbs all gases.
Vegetable carbon. So according to us, it is an inert matter. But a process is there by which, the power inherent in it is kindled, brought out. So then each and everything, when we try to go to the origin of any medicine taken from roots, plants, or anything, inert, insentient, even the poison.
Does this explain what Papa says? Behold divinity in all, in all.
Yeah, that is why he said, behold divinity in every. Because there is no division, because he elaborately explains about the material.
Now I understand, Swami. Yes.
Correct. Everywhere he is there, in some form, in the form of energy, in the form of power. That is why he said Ram stands for subtle and mysterious power. So the Asuri Sampath, when he elaborately discusses in 18 slokas, and the Devi Sampath in 3 slokas, there he just mentions about it, that's all, doesn't offer any explanation. But in Asuri Sampath, everything is explained in detail. As devotees or as spiritual aspirants, none of us, knowingly will commit anything that is Asuri. But still, he has created a world where he has also brought all these things there. So unless and until I sift, SIFT, I sift between these two, I may also fail. And the mind will have some justification. So viewing from that angle, this chapter is very, very important for all of us. Every day morning, as soon as we open our business of life, in the sense, the moment we get up, we start interacting with the world outside. By switching on the light, by getting up, going to the wash basin, taking the paste or brush, we are interacting with the objects outside. Somebody will be there at home or in our place of residence. Then we start interacting with them. Then we go out. Even in an inside house, we may see so many things. We may slip into anger. We may feel, this is not all right, that is not all right. The finding fault starts at home. Grumbling, complaining. We may be thinking that we are all, doing Ram Nam, we are doing this, we are doing that, bhajans, we are doing Swadhyay, Satsang. But we know that this tendency is there. Probably not in the way in which it is explained in Bhagavad Gita, but in some other form it is there in us, preventing us to remember him. That is why in the second chapter he gave a lot of explanation about the samatvam. Now we can connect up these two. Samatvam is nothing but we ensure that we are not carried away by the asuric sampat. We don't become proud because of the daivi sampat. Balancing. If somebody says you have done this, you have done that, you don't take it at all into heart. Because you know God facilitated. And if somebody behaves, you know God made that person to behave like that to test me.
But patience is necessary at that time.
Yeah, we have to. So Ramnam, the only is why we have been given this wonderful tool called Ramnam.
Yes.
So while chanting Ramnam, suppose we try to bring all these in our mind to remember him. That is why Papa put it in a simple way. I am chanting the name of one who is within me and who is making me to chant. So somehow we keep on hammering his presence within us. First intellectually, or for bhaktas, their faith. Faith in the words of the masters and shastras. With that faith, they keep on remembering and chanting his name, his name, his name, his name.
Yes, Swami. Yes, Swami. Sure.
And those who are following Papa's philosophy, they will say, we are chanting the name of one who is making me to chant. But are we in a position to hold on to that state?
So it helps a lot. It helps a lot.
So this is something, this is the only way that will insulate us from these asuric tendencies. Oh, there have been instances, yes, we remember now. Nowadays we don't know. In say 25, 30 years back or 30, 40 years back, whenever people are prompted to go to Shabarimala, they used to observe 41 days Vrata, strict Vrata. They will be 100% vegetarian. If they also take non-vegetarian. At that particular time, they are 100% vegetarian. They will be free from all drinking habits. They will not wear chappal. They will wear only black colored clothes. Early morning, they have their bath, get up 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, have their bath, and then repeat the Lord's name openly, vocally, for 15 minutes or 25 minutes. Swami Sharanamaya. And whatever objects they handle, whatever animals, anything, they will add the name Swami. Cow Swami, dog Swami, like that, Plate Swami, paper Swami. We used to say. And then once it so happened that we all went to Shabarimala together. There were no facilities, So when we go to Pampa, have our bath and then go up the hill. And it will be very, very, very steep, very tiring. But nobody will feel. They will all be chanting Ayappa's name only. And when we reach there will be open space. In Malayalam they call Viri, And so we take a space and then we put our bag or anything like that and stand in the queue, have the darshan of the Lord, offer him the Irumudi Kotte. We carry so many things. Main is the coconut filled with the ghee. And then we come back. So once when we were resting in that place, way behind our, there is a curtain, That is the only one. A small, what do you call, barricade. A long cloth that is the boundary. And Mother Earth, that's all. Behind that, somebody was passing urine. So one of the bhaktas, immediately got up. He heard this noise. Somebody is passing urine. So the anger was welling up. He said, Swami Sharanam. I still remember that. So this Vrata made him to not to utter anything bad. But the old habit is there, So by resorting to that,
controlled anger.
Immediately. So during the trip, you will find they will all be gentle, Only after the. All those things they will say. Then when we come back, the whole mood is changed. 41 days they will be able to hold on. They will not shave. It is a wonderful sight. Especially we were all in Wayanad at that time. The Vrata period will be in the winter period. It will be shivering in the morning, and they do not take bath in the hot water. They go to the nearby river and take cold water bath. Such strict austerity. But they will not utter. Even if suppose it is so irritating, something has to be commented, they will immediately go, Swami Sharanayappa. They will be praying to him intently to give him the needed equipoise. Now we remember that. Many, many instances. Suppose we are going in the jeep and somebody overtakes in a wrong place. Immediately, nowadays we will immediately comment, but he will immediately say, Swami Sharanam. That's all.
Swamiji.
Lakhs and lakhs of people every year go, even today.
Swamiji, 48 days அந்த மாதிரி விரதா இருந்தா அது நம்மளோட சிஸ்டம்ல அது ஒரு மண்டலம் மாதிரி அது ஃபிக்ஸ் ஆயிடும் அப்படின்ட்டு. ஆனா அது முடிஞ்ச உடனே பேக் டு பெவிலியன் மாதிரி வந்துடுறாங்க. அது எப்படின்னு தெரியல.
அது ஆக்சுவலி என்னத்துக்கு it is not that we should limit to 41 days. Even after coming back, we must try to hold on as much as possible. That is why 18 years continuously people go there. Because every year, 1 month or 40 days, you are observing this,
Swamiji, this will also create samskaras, no? Some residual feeling will be there, no, Swamiji?
Sure. No doubt. We have seen many people, transformation in their whole approach. Surrender to Lord Ayyappa, that will be there. Gentleness will be there. And those who have advanced spiritually, on these lines, they become the Guru Swamis. They will be the guide for the troop. It is not that just it floats on the superficial plane. Nowadays, when you see this, the blunt truth is, for 2 or 3 days we observe them and then we go and come back. And good old days, we remember in 50s, 60s, when they start from Paragat Gramam, it will be an occasion where everybody will be careful. They have to walk all the way to Shabarimala. They have to carry vessels, provisions. They will cook. It's a big town. And on that day, on the day of their leaving, this grinding stone.
Yes.
That will be washed and kept. And a kadavalakku. A lamp will be there, which we have to ensure that until they come back, we should see that it doesn't extinguish itself. So that means everybody in the home, they also follow the same thing, praying to the deity to bring them back safely. These are all.
I remember all this, Swamiji. Appa used to go to me. My father used to go to me. Yes, I remember all this.
Yeah.
I remember the Irumudi Katte also.
Irumudi Katte. We used to do that. We have gone there for 18, 20 times. But we have seen people Not that Ayyappa is only there, but it is a joy to associate with the bhaktas and to become one with them. We don't go through the elaborate route, we just straight go to the Pamba, have our bath, and then we go up the hill and have darshan, bas. So many people will be going here and there. Whenever we used to go, God gave us the prompting to do the Shayana Pradakshina. On those days, it was all permitted. Because you lie down and roll yourself.
Yes.
Because so many people with Vrata, they have come and gone, so their Padaduli will be on our body.
It is Anga Pradakshina, Swamiji.
Anga Pradakshina. Nowadays they don't allow because the crowd is too much. And the area has been cordoned off. It's a small temple. Pragaram is very, very, very small. So we all used to have, as soon as we go there, we just offer the name as Nevedyam and then lie down there, close our eyes and start rolling. Somebody will come and put us on the right direction. We don't have to bother. You only hear our chanting. Swami Sharanam, Ayyappa Sharanam, Swami Ayyappa. That's all, no? And it's a wonderful experience. So suppose we say as soon as we come back, we dilute it. Okay, it's all right. Our previous samskara pulled us out. But still it doesn't mean nothing will go in vain. Nothing will ultimately go in vain. Debit is always debit, credit is always credit.
Yes,
so that will definitely help us.
Swamiji, Swalpam Abhyasya Dharmasya Krishnamakan சொல்லிருக்காரு பகவத்கீதையில. அதேதான் நீங்க
எத்தனை பண்ணாலும் அது போகாது, ஒண்ணுமே போகாது. ஒரு நாமம் சொன்னா அது உள்ள போகாது, வெறுமனே போகாது. நமக்கு இப்போ 100 rupees இன்கம் இருக்கு, 125 rupees எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சர் வந்து விடலாம். இட் மைட் கம் ஆல்சோ. 25 rupees ஓட liabilities வரலாம். But this 100 will not go down just because you have got 125, na? So we again try to raise this our balance to 150 or something like that, and then slowly start learning how to keep 1 or 2 rupees surplus. Then we try to move. அப்படி இந்த வியாபாரிக் டீலிங்ல எப்படி how we come out of these clutches of expenditure disproportionate to the income. Similarly here also, all the downpulling tendencies that will slowly get erased when you concentrate more and more on that. It one go, it may not. It may take a decade, it may take 2 decades, it may take 3 decades, but it will not. Nothing will go in vain.
Yes, thank you so much.
Swamiji, these two sampattis, Daivasu sampattis will be inherent in each and every person.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. Wow. Each and everybody, it is a gunas, you know.
Yes,
it is an expression of gunas.
Gunas.
See, both are pitted again. In the mind it is there, you know, that is the Kurukshetra.
Yes.
The down pulling as well as the elevating. So we don't have to rule it out, because when you bite a chili,
yes, it has it. It has its character.
It is there. That is its swabhava. You will not blame it.
Yes.
When you bite a sugar cane, it will be sweet. So we don't condemn, because we accept the nature. That is why in Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, then a stage comes when we will be able to detach ourselves and see the working Guna Guneshu Artante. Guna is reacting in Guna. So that means you detach yourself. That is how we get out of it. Not that it will the spiciness will not go. Spiciness will not go. It will be there, but you will not use it. You will not be affected. Over so many births, you know, we have accumulated this. It will only gradually go. But when I start detaching myself, when a downpulling tendency creeps into my mind, and immediately I chant God's name, in our case Ramna, and immediately pray to him, why do you give me this? Why are you pulling me out of this? Then immediately, the answer comes. I just wanted to test. Oh, okay. If I don't test, how will I know? How will you know that you have mastered it? So like that, we get the answer into...
Swamiji, so the test is for our benefit, actually.
Eh?
The test is for our benefit, actually.
Purely for our benefit. In Quest of God, in the in-depth study, we saw that, at no time he blamed anybody. He was always thinking the test meted out to him by the indwelling Ram. We may not be able to accept it throughout, but at least we can try, because we have our Guru who has practiced this in his very life.
Yes, sir.
Amidst the various challenges, temptations. So let us keep on thinking about it. It's Asti Sampath. He is giving us, he is making us. We have to be vigilant. Whenever anybody says anything like that, immediately we are reminded of the words. That is why at the end, he says, go to the Shastras means you remember it, Bhagavad Gita. Because Shastras are not, nobody need take it, Shastras are the dictums of the dogmas. Shastras are the revelations of people who have gone deep into it. And they came out with their experience and gave out in the form of Upanishads. All Shastras, when we rely on Narada Bhakti Sutra, anything, it is their revelation. So we can make use of their revelation, no? The guide, to check whether it's a play of the mind or it's coming from him. How do we know? Papa himself has written this. Though he did not undergo the usual way of traditional learning of Brahma Vidya under any master or in any organization, he used to check whether whatever comes out of him is in conformity with the Shastras. The only thing is, it is the other way. First we learn Shastra and then enter into the field. In his case, he entered into the field and then checked with the Shastras.
Yes.
That is more perfect, Swamiji. It's a control.
Yeah. Instead of forming as a concept and getting halted there.
Field experience.
Swamiji, an old grandfather told his grandson, my son, there is a battle between two wolves inside us all. One is evil, it is anger, jealousy, greed, resentment, inferiority, lies and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy and truth. The boy thought about it and asked grandfather, which wolf wins? The old man quietly replied, the one you feed.
Correct.
Yes.
Hariom Swamiji. I want to share this.
So we should keep on somehow bringing all these dimensions. And every now and then, going through Shastras will definitely help. We need not look down upon it. Because those are the revelations done by spiritual scientists. So the last...
Swamiji, the 16th chapter has been, you have presented it so beautifully. I never understood in such great depth till now. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you very much.
Tasmacha Satram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavastitavu Nyatva Shastra Vidhanokadam Karmam Kartrum Arhasi. What is to be done, what is not to be done. For that, you take the Shastra as the base. And based upon that, you observe all your activities. Involve yourself in karma.
Daiva Sampatti on the forefront and Asurik Sampatti on the backside. That's all.
And then we used to remember, Puja Swamiji always used to say, don't react immediately.
Immediately. Yes. Yes.
Because if we develop that habit first, whenever we are likely to fall, this dimension will go.
18th shloka chilunga Swamiji koncham. 18th shloka.
Correct.
Konja explain panunga Swamiji.
18th shloka.
Ahangaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha samshitaha mamatma paradeheshu pradishvante abhyasuyaka. Ahangaram, we know, balam, that nobody is there equal to me, and I will not tolerate
Second
it.
line I am not understand. Second line. Second line I am not understand.
We will, English I will read then. Eighteenth,
16th chapter, 18th.
Yes, Swami.
Yes. Possessed of egoism, power, insolence, lust, wrath, these malignant people hate me in their own bodies and those of others. Possessed of ahankaram, balam, balam means power, darpa means pride, kama means lust, krodha means anger. They spurn me who am present in themselves and in all beings. These are malignant people. They hurt me in themselves and in others by their wicked ways. They hurt me in themselves, They hurt me. I am there in everybody. The Lord is saying, I am present in all beings. I am also present in other things in nature. And this person, by his or her behavior, injures me who is present in oneself and in others. Mam, Atma.
Atma paradeheshu.
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 Paradeheshu. Pratibanto.
Atma paradeheshu. Me in the bodies of oneself and others. They spurn with great hatred. They are malignant people. These people of demonic nature behave in this fashion, exhibit the emotion qualities. When they hate people, when they rob people, when they insult others, they do so to me who am in them. This is the Vedantic teaching. What would be their fate? Sri Krishna answered that in the next few verses, and the chapter ends with the basic evils that are at the back of all. These basic evils are only 3, and that Sri Krishna will summarize in the remaining verses. Unfortunately, such people with the demonic characteristics are there in society. Sometimes they may change, they may improve, sometimes they are fixed in that, and there is no way to get out. The word used here is hell, which means hellish condition. There is no separate place called hell or heaven. Also, there is no separate people called Asura or Deva. Humanity itself is of these two types. We can choose to be either this or that. Our choice is in our hands. Some people choose to be of demonic type. He or she goes down, further down to the hellish condition. Wherever there is no light, there is only darkness. That condition is treated as hellish. That light of the Atman, light of the divine within, is completely shut out from such people. They live in a hellish. So they go to the... Here we take it in a different way. Because Mataji puts it in a very understandable way. She always used to say, when you criticize others, you are criticizing Papa. Simple thing. When you exploit others, you are exploiting Papa. When you are hating others, you are hating Papa. So instead of bringing all the bigger words, we can go through the small words. Because the Lord is there in everybody.
Yes.
And all these asuric tendencies mean that tendencies by which I become unaware of His presence and limit myself only to the individual level, external level. No other consideration. Because I don't accept that there is a God whose will only prevails. So my norms are based on the me and mine level. And my desires, my cravings, my rights and wrongs, my likes and dislikes, all these that propel me to jump into hasty conclusions. And the sense organs react. So this particular chapter, every now and then we have to go through just to remind us, it is there in us. God has given us, Everything has got two sides. How we make use of it is important.
Prakriti also has got its own two sides, isn't it?
Okay.
Yes.
Those who have done the farming, especially paddy farming, they will remember this. Righteous people, honest people. We make the land cultivable after plowing, mixing it with organic manure, cow dung, mulches, and then we sow the seed. When it sprouts after 20-25 days, we transplant them. And after transplanting, we will ensure regularly irrigation facilities are there, and then weeds will come. I am a farmer. I am trying to nurture, develop paddy. But that which will hamper the progress, I take it out, weeding it out, you say weeds.
Yes.
So in Prakriti, this is unavoidable, inevitable. We don't justify.
Why would we apply to ourselves, Swamiji?
Just think about it. Weeding out is not, let's say 100% non-violence is not possible. Because that is the nature. But that doesn't mean that we can do whatever we like.
Yes.
We limit. We limit to the extent possible. We try to hold on to all this. While walking unknowingly, we may be hurting so many insects. But knowingly, we will not do it, na? Think about all those things. So that then only spirituality becomes practical. Otherwise, it is a dictum or a dogma. Nice to hear, nice to talk, but very difficult to practice in our life. Not like that. To certain people, chilies becomes a problem. To certain people, chilies is okay. They like it. And the most spicy one, the small, Kandari. The moment you bite, the whole track will be burning.
Swamiji, we call it Lavanji Mirchi.
That is good for cholesterol.
Oh.
So I used to see Puja Swamiji only told us this. So then it is put in alcohol, and then the extract is taken as a medicine. And every day he used to say one Kandari will do good. So that means by itself we cannot rule. They have their own role.
Swamiji, there is also an ointment taken out, capsaicin. is the essential principle,
Yeah.
which is taken out for, as an ointment for painkiller.
Painkiller.
Mhm.
So that means, God says, if you go deeply into the things that you apparently feel bad, as I told you, vegetable carbon, in good old days when we were cooking with firewood, in everybody's house, some portion will be there in the form of charcoal. Even that is used as a fuel. We call it as kumati. So that immediately after, suppose you prepare rasam and everything, at that time you keep it there. Always the warmth will be there. So that according to us, it is no good. It's only a material. But later on, when we started taking medicine carboveg, then we came to know it is called vegetable carbon. I tell you one instance. In Ashram, must be in 1991. Puja Swamiji, both of us were coming from the Samadhi period. Near that L building, somebody was sitting and so many people have surrendered, and he was gasping. Everybody thought he had an heart attack, so he has to be taken to the hospital. Swamiji went there. As usual, he looked at him and he said, "Get the pendulum." So we rushed up to his room, brought the pendulum. He just felt and said, "Bring carboveg 200." We gave the 5 or 6 globules of carboveg. Swamiji himself waited there for another 10-15 minutes. The person was free from everything, got up, walked back to the room.
Yes. Carbo vegetables. Next one also.
Then only we came to know it was a gas problem. And the gas was pressing the chest. He was feeling that, it gives us the feeling that we are going to have a heart attack. So the easy way, so it has come from carboveg, vegetable carbon. But it has to undergo certain process to come to that stage, no doubt, not in the crude form. Even this Om, what do you Om?
Ajwain, Swamiji. Ajwain. Omam சொல்லுவோம். Ajwain.
Ajwain. What a wonderful medicine it is. You just put it in the hot water. Suppose you have got some Madhya Pradesh problem. You take it. Immediately.
So this is given this Omam water is given before delivery also. Omam water.
Omam water, correct.
This is given before delivery also.
நார்த்ல ரெகுலரா யூஸ் பண்றாங்க சுவாமிஜி அஜ்வைன்.
Anyway, so let us come back to the text. Divi Sampat, Ashuri Sampat. So we don't have to put the label on everything as this is Asuri. We take it that it is only to test and get ourselves rooted in the Devi Sampat. And whenever we are doubtful, we go to the Shastras and find out. In our case, we can definitely say Bhagavad Gita.
Swamiji, please tell Papa's line, behold divinity in
every aspect of this world, Leela. Verily, it is He at play in all beings and creatures. That contains everything. That is the quintessence of spirituality. Behold divinity in every aspect of this world, Leela. Verily, it is He at play in all beings and creatures. So everywhere I fail, I forget. But when so we pray, enable me to remember this. I'm chanting Ram Nam. So whenever we chant Ram Nam, suppose we bring this dimension, the impact of which will remain with us. It's a must. You don't bother about how many malas you do. When we do one Ram Nam, 108 Ram Nam in the morning, with all feelings, then always you are reminded of this, the purpose for which the chanting has been done. The purpose which the chanting has been done is to remember him throughout. So when we do that intensely, and whenever there is a pause moment, whenever there is a knowingly or unknowingly, the mind should come out with Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Immediately the connection is enlivened. So these are all some of the methods by which, we can bring spirituality in our daily life. Okay, so tomorrow we will try. Tomorrow we will not be here. Yes, tomorrow we are going back to ashram. So there won't be any 3:30, 4:30 session. Day after tomorrow, let us see from the ashram whether it is possible to take up the 17th chapter. Hari Om to everybody. Om.
Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om Swamiji.
Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji, pranam.
Pranam.
Namaskaram Swamiji.
Pranam. Wonderful. You can see that, back.
Yes.
And this is and this sadhana kutir, nobody else is there. It is in the midst of all trees and plants, and before us there is a landscape, beautiful, excepting the chirping of the birds. Nothing else you will hear.
The temperature எவ்வளவு Swamiji? Temperature எவ்வளவு? Weather?
We go there for food. That also these people will say don't come, but we go there at least for an exercise. We go there just for food and then come back. Anyhow,
Swamiji,
we are not being given so much leave, so we have to join back tomorrow to duty. Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om Pranam.
Pranam.
Namaskaram Swamiji.
Namaskaram.